Caribbean Seaplex.
The Seaplex, the best thing on what we think is probably one of the best things, particularly on Royal Caribbean ships that visit Australia, the Quantum class ships. This thing's magnificent.
We keep referencing it to a PCYC. So, your youth clubs, it is the size of one of those.
Yeah, it's a huge community centre at sea that keeps the whole family active.
Yeah,
really.
pretty much.
There's always activities there for all ages.
Hey Deb,
Hey Matt.
do you know what the one bit of advice is that I always give new cruisers?
Okay.
They should seize the day.
Okay, so we've started unpacking the first bag. We were waiting for the second one, just chilling out in the room for a little while, and got a phone call. And because we were starting to wonder where our second bag was, got a phone call. Apparently, we have a forbidden item that's been detected in our bag.
But it is the 8th night on this cruise and we are here to have some fun on Quantum of the Seas with bumper cars. Check this out. How cool is this? You get to do bumper cars while you're at sea.
Alright, let's have a look at the bathroom. I like the royal bathrooms.
I love the royal bathrooms.
Why do you love the royal bathrooms?
Because you don't have shower curtains.
Matt is not a fan of the shower curtains.
Okay, so that's step 4 on how to get to your food on your first day and 5 steps for first time cruises.
That's
Now,
a lot of mouthful.
that is all I'm for. So now we're heading off to the lifts at the rear of the ship because that's where you want to get to Windjammer. That's the best way to get your food quick and easy on day 1 for first time cruises. So rear of the ship we go. We are up on the Lido deck. It is the New Year's Eve party about to kick off. It's going to be a cracker night. Hey Deb,
Hey Matt.
what did one ocean say to the other?
What?
Nothing. They just waved.
So high I'm hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through.
going
Hang
around.
on.
Oh.
Sorry, people couldn't hear me. Thanks, guys. Sorry about that. I missed a mute button.
All right,
My
so
apologies.
Did everyone just get that
No, they
lip
didn't.
reading?
I do have Deb with me. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another live stream. Deb is here. We've managed to get her up and about for a little while. So she hasn't been well.
If I do start coughing, I won't make you all endure listening to it.
She's under strict instructions not to share her germs
And
with
I'm
me.
trying to avoid like breathing his way. So let's see how we go.
Unfortunately, Noah brought home a bit of a lurgy from work. Well, not just a bit of a lurgy. He actually brought influenza home from a school last week. So, and unfortunately, Deb's gone down with something as well. So, it hasn't been good for the last few days. But
I mean, it's not showing as influenza, but it's also, Mum's here and she's sick with something completely different as well, and everyone at work's sick. So
I'm kind of.
I think it's everywhere.
I'm kind of digging the husky voice. It's not quite the sexy
stop
husky
it.
voice, but yeah. Anyway, hey, I just
Not
want to
till
do
it's
a
coughing.
very big shout out quickly. Let me bring that up. Thank you for the super chat, Mike.
Aw, thank
Really
you,
appreciate
Mike.
that. Thank you very much.
I love that.
Now, Deb, I'm going to get into some hellos quickly because we have quite a few people here in the live chat with us
That'd
tonight.
be great.
And then from there, we will get into some cruise news because, wow, it has been a mega week for cruise news here in Australia and around the world.
Matt's just been filling me in because I've been off radar. So
you've been pretty much
there seems to
sleeping
be
4 days. So let's get in. Firstly, let's get into a super early hello. I know Linda will be watching this live stream when she is off her night shift and missing the live stream, but she put this in the live chat, in the not so live chat, but the early chat this morning at 8 a.m. So g'day to you, Linda, and
Nice to
thank you
see you.
always for joining us. G'day to Sean from the Down Under Cruises. We've got Noni and Rowan, I believe, is also here. I think I saw him in the chat. So g'day to you both. Thanks for joining us again tonight. G'day, Linda and Dylan. Great to have you on board. We've got Kaz is here. Janice is here from Bendigo. Cold today, but getting warmer. Glad to hear
it was hot today. Like
It's been-
29 degrees here in Brisbane today.
I was stuck in air conditioning all day at the office, so I was fortunate in that regard.
Still
but
warm in here.
I noticed it when I got in the car, and I've noticed it getting home. Yeah, the studio, once we get the computers running and the cameras and the lights and everything, it
Might start
starts to
melting
get
soon.
a bit warm. So yeah, the aircon will probably start to run with these live streams soon. We've got Wendy as well from Albion Park, New South Wales. Hello, Wendy. Great to have you on board for another week. And we've got Brad Butlins. G'day, Brad.
Hey,
And
Sorry, I'm not
Darlene
saying hi to
is
everyone,
here.
group hello.
Save the energy. Save the
Yeah, I
energy.
am trying.
G'day, Darlene. Hope you are both well. Hope everything's going well with Mike. And yeah, sending you our wishes. Pete from the Cruise Craze fam is here. G'day, Pete. Great to see you on board with us tonight. And thank you, yes, for that reminder to everyone. Don't forget to hit that like button. Let us know if you haven't already where you are watching from tonight as well, because the algorithm loves when people are getting involved in the chat. Nikki and Howie love cruising. G'day, Nikki and Howie. Great to have you on board with us again this week. And we've also got Tisha and Tisha, let us know where you're joining us from. We'd love to know. Tony, mate, loved the photos from Alaska. That looked like an amazing trip. Thanks for sharing those with us. Really appreciate it, mate. And we've got the 360 Building and Pest guys on board. Hello.
They've been away.
They have been, and they've been missing your beautiful smile. Your beautiful but sickly smile.
Oh, stop it. Don't make me laugh.
Okay, let's get past all the hellos here. And Katrina is here. G'day, Katrina. Glad to see you on board with us. And we've got the Kenko Cruising guys. Bernie is here. G'day, Bernie. Good to see you, mate. Hope all is well down south there. And Christine is here as well. Our good friends Rob and Ellie from Rob and Ellie Cruise and Travel are on board. Always love. I'm hunting a frame at the moment. We got an awesome photo. I think I shared it last week. An awesome photo of the four of us dressed up for Blues Brothers on the last 80s cruise. Really cool photo. So I'm hunting down a frame for that. You wouldn't know because you've been sick and I've just been trying to sort that. So always love hanging out with those guys. And we've got Joe. G'day, Joe. Great to have you on board, mate. Cruising Tea Ladies are here as well. A couple of people saying the video's freezing. Let me check. Let me check my settings.
It was 5 minutes ago, so I wonder if it was right back when we were doing the...
Hopefully it's come good. Showing excellent connection. Hopefully we're all good now. All right, let's see. Deb, look at this. Wyatt and Co. Wyatt, mate. Okay, everyone, look, if you have not checked out the channel Wyatt and Co Creations, go and check out this channel. This young fella is putting together some awesome cruise vlogs and videos. Great to have you on board tonight, Wyatt. Really appreciate you being here, mate.
Thanks for joining us, mate.
And,
that's awesome.
Some of your videos say he has been vlogging family holidays and look really, really impressed with what he's doing at such an early and a young age. So great to see that creativity coming out. Keep it going. Really enjoy the videos. And what I noticed, and I made this comment to you, Deb, last week, there was a video that Wyatt put out, and I think he was traveling. There was some friends or some family or something. There was some young kids anyway in the group, and at the dinner with them, and they didn't want to be on film. All the parents didn't want to be on film, and he was really respectful of not including them in the footage, but talking about it, and just the way he approached that was a really mature way. I thought
Some of them have some amazing pros behind him, I tell you.
Yeah. So really, Wyatt, great job, mate. We will keep tuning in. Really enjoy the videos. And if you are watching this live stream tonight, be sure after the live stream to go and check out Wyatt and Co Creations and his channel, because Wyatt's doing a great job there.
Absolutely.
Okay, where are we? Frankie K Designs. Hi, Deb and everyone from Cruising with Frankie.
Hello.
Oh, look, you're getting a special shout out just yet again.
I'll take it.
Steve Planes and Lego. It's cold and rainy. That's no good, mate.
I would take a bit of cold right now.
Yeah. Those fevers you were having on Sunday seemed pretty crazy. Frankie K Designs is here, which is good to see. We've got Joe. What's Joe asking? Did anyone hear about the tornado that touched down at 3:30 p.m. near Young? No, did not hear about that at all.
I feel like it was almost going to be a joke. I don't know. I might be wrong.
Yeah, well, no.
I don't even know a place called Young.
I do.
Oh, see, there you go.
Yeah, down south,
right,
New South Wales.
Okay.
Joe's slowly recovering and running an event from an event he did on Sunday. Proud of himself for the result. Well, that's great, Joe. Really, really good. Diane says Mike's doing okay, getting a reduction, so that's a good sign. Really glad to hear that. Alrighty. Let's get through. Just checking for some new names. Plenty of comments here. All right, Deb, I'm going to get into some news quickly.
Sure.
Because we need to get you up to date on what's going on in the cruise industry this week as well, because it has been huge.
All right.
Here we go. Just before we do, though, Christine is the mum to Wyatt and proud mama. Oh, well, Christine, honestly, you should be very proud. We've been very impressed, and look at some of his videos compared to some of our early videos, and I'm like, oh wow,
He's doing a good job.
He's doing a great job. So, all right, let's bring on to the screen. Let's share. Hang on, let's move this one. Click here. Let's bring some things on. We're going to get into a few things. So first, there has been so much news in the last week. And g'day, Mark. Glad to have you on board. Noni says there was a tornado in New South Wales. There you go,
There
Joe.
you go.
There has been so much news. One of the first things that I want to get into this week is the announcement that some home porting is going to be returning to Western Australia. So the Sapphire Princess cruise ship will be returning and calling Fremantle home for a period of time in 2027, or for the 27-28 summer. This is the official press release from the Western Australian state government that goes through the announcement. The really interesting thing is, and I think, this is something we're going to have to consider as advocates, all of us, whether it's us, Rob and Al, whether it's the Cruise Crest fam, Adrian and others. This type of press release gives us the point back to governments when we're calling for more investment in cruise tourism, because they talk in here and outline the economic impacts that this short itinerary basically will have across the economy. So they're talking about $142 million boost in economic impact across the 9 itineraries, supporting more than 1,000 jobs and bringing the large cruise vessels back to Geraldton alone. They sort of blur it a little bit, but $142 million worth of economic impact, that's huge. That's lots of jobs.
Yeah.
In regional parts of the Queens of Western Australia.
Has anyone actually been on Sapphire Princess that's in here at the moment?
Possibly not. Yeah, let us know in the comments. Have you been on Sapphire Princess before? I know you and I, as soon as this announcement came out last week, we said, let's look and see if we can lock something in for that season and go and have a cruise over in WA. So
yeah, I actually haven't done WA yet, so it's somewhere I'm wanting to go. So that would be cool. Two birds with one stone there.
Definitely would be cool to go over to WA and do something like that and head up the coast and Geraldton and all those sort of things.
100%.
So that was covered by by obviously that press release from the WA government, and then Cruise Passenger have also covered the story here. Pull that up. Just change this view. So, it will arrive. First cruise will be October 10, 2027, and it'll do a series of round trips out of Fremantle between 3 nights and 2 weeks.
What they say, 9 sailings.
Yeah, so they've said 9 sailings. So it's a short season, but a series of sailings as they describe it.
Yeah, so Cruising Tea Ladies and Kenko Cruising are all both saying that they've been on there and liked the ship.
Yeah, there you go. Lovely ship. Did it in Alaska. So it's great news. So this was announced at the Australia Cruise Association conference. The interesting thing is, I'm going to bring this up, Sapphire Princess also in 2027 appears in, so just remember the date here. All right. The date was
10th of October.
The 10th of October, just here. So arrives in Fremantle on the 10th of October. And then on the 23rd of October, it's in Brisbane. So 2 weeks later. Roughly.
Is that just as a port stop?
Yeah, I would imagine it's a port stop. It's either doing like an around Australia, or it's doing, Fremantle, Sydney, back to Fremantle.
It says 9 till 9.
Yeah, because if we then jump into November, the Sapphire Princess appears again on the 26th of November 2027. So
just including maybe Brisbane as one of the stops.
Yeah, so I'm guessing there's a couple of
that might be
around Australia. Around Australia trips that it's doing. That's good news there for the Sapphire Princess and cruising coming to WA. Al from oh my gosh, I nearly confused the two. Al from Robin Alley Cruise and Travel says, you guys have become our Wednesday night out. All we need is a dance off to end the show. Is anyone else up for it?
Not tonight. You can play the video. That's how you can do a dance off tonight.
Dance off?
It's your turn, Mr. Wiggles.
Mr. Wiggles. This is it. When I get asked to dance, it's wiggle fingers. That's all I do.
He's not lying.
That's about my thing. Noni Rose says 9 sailings likely to be expensive due to supply versus demand. Yeah, I would think so. So if you're looking at it, get in as quick as you can. Longest cruise is 2 weeks, so it won't be around Australia. No, it won't be, but it is interesting though that 2 weeks later it is in Brisbane. So will be interesting to see. They do itineraries that kind of go around the north or around the south of Australia. Princess do, like they do that with Crown. So it would be interesting to see if maybe that's what they're going to do here as well with Sapphire. Is she showing up at any other ports? I have not looked yet. No, I've between playing nurse and work and video edits, I have not had a look yet. Boozy Cruiser is here. G'day, Richard. You've got a massive show. If you are in Melbourne, I'm not sure. There may be 1 or 2 tickets left, but
I thought it was sold out.
The Crown Casino this week, the Boozy Cruiser, Richard, will be there at the front of the Forever 80s band. So if you're in Melbourne, don't miss it if you can get there. All right, next bit of news, Deb. We've got more news. There's so much this week.
Oh my God, it seems like it.
MSC Cruises, and this came out the other day. Cruise Passenger has covered this one as well. So MSC paying a bit of attention to Australia, realizing that they have ignored Australia, but promises a new focus. So I know Rob from Rob and Ali will be very excited about this, given that I think they've got another MSC cruise coming up. I think they've got 2 actually. Like
I don't know.
they have become
keen to get on it though.
They have become MSC converts. We are trying to figure out when and how we can get on an MSC because these Rob and Al just keep, bragging about how bragging is not the right word, but raving about it.
Yeah.
Look, new focus. So some interesting comments this week. They've basically admitted MSC Cruises is a big player everywhere except Australia, with a huge fleet in Europe and America. Down there, it's never been part of the plan, but now that's about to change, as they've told Cruise Passenger in this recent interview. It was quite of a frank admission, really. So if we look at this, I'm not going to lie to you. Australia was kind of an afterthought for us, is what Paradiso, the Vice President of International Sales at MSC and Explorer Journeys, told Cruise Passenger. We were focusing on Europe and North America, and yes, in Australia, we're not well known, but that's why he's here, because we're now opening a new chapter. So obviously, we have seen MSC ships in the past in Australia. They've stopped in, they've had stopovers on world cruises and things like that. But they're actually starting to see here as they acknowledge, they're already one of Europe's largest cruise brands, but in Australia, the presence has been muted. But the reality is, and I'm just trying to find the quote or the comment here, that Australian travelers are now the 3rd most valuable customers in MSC's global portfolio, thanks to higher onboard spending and a preference for longer itineraries in Europe. That shows the quality of the market and why we're investing here. So this is good. They've actually started to acknowledge that, Australian cruises are worthy of investment, that we love cruising, and, we deserve something.
Yeah. Well, I think from what I'm just reading in some of these comments, people might agree with you.
Where are we? Build us a World Australia ship. Pete from the Cruise Craze fam couldn't agree more.
100%.
That would be so cool. Seeing something like that. We've got Rob and Al say they're very excited. They'll be back on MSC Bellissima next month.
Very exciting.
And Rob,
and that was such an excitement comment. So exciting.
So exciting. You're just, you're
I'm
full
pumping
of it.
from the inside, I promise you.
Rob and Al's comment here that it's a nice thought, MSC World Australia. I think the only port would be Brisbane, though. Yeah, that's probably true. They would be a world-class ship, a World Series ship needs the big port, and Brisbane's probably the only one that could handle a world-class ship. Wyatt's excited by that idea. Christine says MSC would be nice here in Australia.
Yeah.
Tony asks, when are we going to do the Crown back-to-back videos from April? We are in the middle of that, and I will get to that in just a moment, Tony, so stay tuned because I've got some more to say on that. Steve Plains Lego 23-24 Eden cruise season injected 8.7 into our community, massive amount to our region. Yeah, Steve, I got to agree. We've seen massive benefits and regional areas that do get the cruising into them. They see massive benefits from it. Cruise operators, local food suppliers. I know in Eden, and I believe we will be back there. We had a 3-night cruise booked on Anthem of the Seas at the end of October. And that was just originally a 3-night to nowhere. I believe the schedule has been changed now that everything's working with Eden, and we will be going to Eden. So I'm looking forward to going back and contributing to the local economy, that regional economy again, and getting some smoked chowder.
Yes.
I want that smoked seafood chowder again. It's
we'll
great
have to be
down
quick,
there.
remember. They're sold out pretty quickly.
That'll be stop number 1. Just get off the ship and go there for breakfast.
Yeah.
Smoked seafood chowder for breakfast. That'll do me.
I can't think of anything worse. No, thank you.
Yes. Rowan says, if MSC want to be here, we're all for it. RSC really should adjust their schedule and deploy their ships here sooner rather than later. Getting jealous of the Northern Hemisphere, enjoying it more than us. Yes, I agree. Which, Katrina says, I think it's about time Australia finally got some more cruise companies coming here. Look, I am going to tie these two comments together because I actually made this observation the other day in a chat. And I actually think Bye. It's just going to exit for a moment. I actually think, and I was saying this in the content creators chat that we have, there's a bit of a group of us that chat together the other day. 2028 is going to be, I think, a massive, massive year for the Australian cruise industry, because I think we're seeing these hints from MSC. We're seeing Norwegian starting to ramp up, moving into the 26-27 season. Royal have Lelapa or the Royal Group, we'll get to that bit in a moment, have Lelapa coming. So I think there is a lot to happen. So it'll be interesting to see. And there's also talk, Janice just writes, Adrian's just put out a blog. Sydney has put in for a new terminal. Is that true? Look, Janice, there has been a lot of debate around a new terminal for Sydney. It's been getting kicked around for a long time. I haven't seen Adrian's video, his latest video. I have seen couple in the last few days, but I know that there has been an increasing amount of talk in the last few days around, also in the last few weeks around what's going to happen. And that seems to be the case whenever the cruise season's about to kick off. The discussions around going down to Port Kembla, a new port there, or getting something at Botany, or are they going to do something somewhere else within Sydney? So it'll be interesting to see. I will research that. We'll do some coverage on that next week to see what the latest updates are. Boozy Cruiser says, Deb is a trooper. Yes, she is. But yes, I can hear her out in the hallway hacking up her lungs at the moment. So she did want to be here with you all as much as she can. Let's jump back over to the shared screen at the moment. Let's get to the next bit of news. So this is an interesting one. So what we've seen and we've seen in Cruise Weekly only today, in fact, is some reporting from Celebrity Cruises VP International Giles Hawke, and I believe Adrian from Cruise and Travel Guy, the Cruise and Travel Guy, has also covered this in a bit of detail. Is that Lelapa is also going to be accessed by Celebrity Cruise Line? So he talks here. We can see down here. He says Lilliput, or they report Lilliput scheduled to arrive in 2027. And he says we'll go to Lilliput when it opens. If we're in that region of the world, then it would make sense for us to go there the same way we go to Perfect Day. And this was something, funnily enough, the coincidence here is I'd actually just started researching and putting together a video myself over the weekend about exactly this. Could Lilliput, the concept of thinking about Lilliput and celebrity and other, the Royal Caribbean group utilizing Lilliput, help the financial case for it? Because there's still a lot of criticism, and you can see it on the cruise critic forums and others. A lot of people are still not convinced Lilliput is going to happen. We, as you know from some of the videos we've covered before, we've actually spoken to staff who have been on shore, on site, looking at different things, having discussions with locals, and when we've been on past cruises, and we've spoken to those staff. And so we've been fairly confident that this is going to happen. But you're right. You're alive.
I didn't disappear.
You're alive. Yep.
Just.
Got another lozenge in the throat in there. Try and stop coughing. Yeah. So I think this is exciting. Celebrity cruises. They do it with as mentioned there with Perfect Day. They visit Perfect Day, so going to Lilliput as well makes a heck of a lot of sense. However, this was another bit of news covered by a cruise passenger a couple of weeks ago, and I think we touched on it at the time. The Royal Caribbean CEO said, if you're sailing out of Australian market, you will be going to Lilliput. That was the quote a couple of weeks ago.
So I said to Matt this afternoon, right, we were talking more about it. I said, does that mean that they're taking out like 3-day cruises and 4 days or 5 day sailings and things like that? Is it literally going to be just longer ones to make that visit, or would they do maybe a 4 or 5 day that just goes to Lilliput and back, nowhere else?
Well, you're not gonna get 4 and 5 days. You're gonna at a minimum you would be looking at a 7-day turnaround, because by the time you would have to do 2 days over, at least 2 port days. You could maybe do it in 5. Like if you literally went 2 days Lilliput, 2 days back, but it's 2 sea days, as you know, to get to like Port Vila or Noumea. So you're either going to do 2 sea days, one day at Lilliput and come back, which they're not going to do.
That in or not.
Yeah. So
who knows?
Yeah. Interesting. Good question here from Kinko Cruising. Do you think they'll drop Mystery Island? I think they will. I think Mystery Island will drop
Love Mystery Island.
For Royal. I think Mystery Island will become a carnival island. I know Royal have put some mentions this here. Jebediah Blingfield. It's too good to drop in your opinion. People wouldn't be happy at all. No, they wouldn't. But I think, I agree with the sentiment. But what I think is you're gonna end up being able to have very similar, very, very similar sort of experiences, although it'll be contained to Royal.
Yeah.
Because they're not doing the Perfect Day thing, right? They're doing the more of the beach club style. Yeah. So I think you'll get very similar to Mystery Island.
I just would hope that the locals that rely on Mystery Island wouldn't be left out. That would be all. Yeah.
No, and I don't think they will be. There'll be a lot of opportunity there. Yeah. I'm
gonna fan myself.
We've actually got some backup here, so you can go and take a break.
Oh, I'm right for the second.
You're right, because we do have a guest.
Go and rest, Deb. I'm taking over. I'm going to let you rest.
I've got some company.
I was going to say, I don't know whether you wanted me here for some of this or not, though.
No. You're all right.
Well,
go and rest, Deb.
You can be here if you want, but I think you need to go and rest.
Go and rest.
See, Even Amy's saying. So we've got a hero here. Thanks for joining, Amy.
You're welcome.
I'll go when I
Work
need to.
is
It's all good.
just calling me, but that's okay.
What's
Look,
calling you?
Let's do something fun, and then Deb can go and rest. Let's bring something up, Amy. I'm gonna bring up. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. Can I come up? Yeah, there we go. So if you haven't seen it yet, guys, the epic dance-off video. We posted this the other day. So if you haven't, I'm just going to give you a couple of quick little dramatic preview moments here of the epic dance-off battle.
That was so
dramatic
much fun.
Intro.
So
let us know in the comments if you've seen it. It was a lot of fun.
Sorry.
Deb's Aggie dancing. Could be a whole other video.
Hey.
Yeah. So we've got, they did all their training sessions, and then we actually get into in the nightclub. So anyway, if you let us know in the comments if you have seen it or not, because we'd love to know that. But
it
Amy,
was a bit of fun.
That was a lot of fun, wasn't it?
It was a lot of fun. It almost didn't happen, but it did. And there will be redos. There will be more opportunities. So it was a tie, so we've got to go again.
Well, no need.
Seeing you won, Deb. So you're a very gifted dancer.
Everyone's up for the underdog. There's no way I win.
Noni says they watched the video just before the live stream. Jebediah says it was fantastically hilarious.
Oh, you should have been there in person. It was even better in person, I reckon.
Oh, it was so many laughs, wasn't it?
Christine says that it was a great beginning to the dance-off video.
Matt worked really hard on this video. Like, hats off, babe. Like,
he did a great job. Thanks.
This. Yeah.
What was that, Amy? Sorry?
You did a great job with the editing. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate you doing that.
Oh, look, it was so much fun. And I remember when I came up with the idea after, whatever it was, a live stream or something at the beginning of the year, and I sent you and Deb the script and said, I need you guys to film these clips. We need to get these clips of you doing these things. And you were like, what the hell?
Yeah, well, actually, yeah, that's right. I was like, wow, Matt's like properly taking this seriously. Like, yeah.
But it turned out really good.
Work, so I'm like multitasking. It has been one of those days today. I just think. But anyway, so I'm multitasking, so ignore me. I'm not being rude. But no, seriously, when you sent that through, I was just like, wow, this isn't just a little dance off. This is like the Dance Olympics. And what's her name? What's her name? Can't think of it. I did her dance moves, Ray Gun. I did all her dance moves and everything. So I should have won. How do you win with those dance moves? I don't get it. They're Olympic moves. Although you missed out my little break dancing on the floor bit. I was a little bit shattered about that.
Yeah, I was trying to get it all.
You might be able to put them up as little shorts.
Yeah, we'll do it as shorts. I'll send it all through. But I think the hilarious thing was it almost didn't happen, right?
That was the funniest part. Like, because obviously I had to organize babysitters and everything. Thankfully, Mum and Dad were on the ship with us. And so I was just like, oh, yeah, I won't be long. We just got a little dance off, but it's got to happen. Like this, it's tonight. It has to be tonight. It was only a 2-day cruise. So Mum's like, yeah, that's fine. So I took the kids over there. And, we're sitting there and we're like, isn't the music supposed to start at like 10? And it's like 10:20. And we're like, what's going on? And like, we've got a drink. We're having a great chat. Like we had a really good chat. So it wasn't like a bad thing because we
got to catch up.
Yeah. It was the first time I think we've actually had to actually chat face to face. Like we
100% it was.
few times, and we'd got little clips of us dancing. But you know, when the music was playing at Sail Away, I was too busy dancing. Let's face it. So it was a good chance for us to actually have a chat because there was no music, the lights weren't going, absolutely nothing happening, and then
Yep.
oh god, here we go. That was
Yeah,
so much fun.
This is at the Sail Away.
Princess
Or
style.
just that was before the Sail Away, and the Sail Away was like 2 hours late or an hour and a bit late. That was late because
Yeah.
because they moved it in last minute, and yeah, it just kept kind of getting pushed back. So even that, I was like, "Hey, mum, dad, you have the kids. Just go on a Sail Away. We'll be right back." A couple of hours later,
Yeah.
and then we were meeting him in the room, like literally meeting him at the dining room straight after. So
I actually didn't pay attention to the staff.
So Rowan asks, did you get any strange looks from the crew when you were filming, especially the bits where you looked like you were fighting?
I don't know. Play the clip.
Well, there wasn't.
No?
No, there wasn't really. I think
didn't
because you were
notice.
just doing a lot of it was really individual, wasn't it? Right up and
yeah, it was really casual little bits. When we were together, we were either dancing, we'll do a quick little and then we'd laugh. And
Laugh.
so
Yeah, that's right.
so obvious that we were just playing around. I don't
Yeah, we
think
didn't get kicked off, Ron.
although I get strange looks from the crew all the time, but that's
Well,
well, I
they love
wanted
it.
to keep. Amy, I wanted to keep the video, you know, kid friendly. You know, we've got to tick that box. Is this appropriate for kids,
Hey,
right? So I had to not include that twerking that you were doing at the guest services counter. Like,
yeah, that was something else.
maybe we'll put that out as a short, right? Like,
I would never do such a thing. You know, we're on Princess. It's very elegant. I would never do such a thing.
They were loving it when you were dancing.
But you know what? The crew actually did seem to love it. I feel like because that cruise, it was an around the world cruise, around Australia cruise. It was such a long cruise. And it was right at the end. And let's face it, it was an older demographic, and they were all pretty tired and they were pretty quiet and relaxed and chill. And then on walks me. I am here and I'm on the dance floor. I'm twerking. They're like, "What has just happened? Who is this woman?"
Yeah, I think I'm actually just editing the day 1 and day 2. So Tony asked the question earlier in the live stream in the live chat. You know, when was I going to start? You know, putting the videos out from that cruise. So I'm literally starting now. I'm editing at the moment, and last night I was looking at a clip, and that's exactly what either you said it or Deb said it in one of these clips. Is that the crew are really like passengers you were talking to. Sorry, were really excited to have some younger people on board.
Passengers are enjoying it.
Yeah. Like when I was at what's it called? Crooners? Is that what it's called? Crooners Bar?
Yep.
You guys weren't there, but I've got it on my vlogs where I was up and dancing in front of absolutely everybody. So like there was a guy, because we were looking for life in we're looking for signs of life in the ship, to be totally honest. So we went to the pub first, because we knew there was a piano going and we expected something kind of like what we'd get on Encounter or Adventure or Splendor, but no, it was literally just piano. Like it was, she was kind of singing, but it was slow. Not that it was bad, but I was ready to dance because this was my warm up for the big dance off. So I needed to build up my energy. So I was there first, and we're like, yeah, no, this ain't happening. So then we went over to Crooners or whatever it's called, and the guy was the acoustic, and he was good, and we were enjoying that. But I was still feeling like I need to get up and dance. Like I was, you know, I do that anyway. That's just me. I always like to dance. When there's music, I like to dance. But yeah, I was like, all right. And so I just started dancing around and like being a bit silly, and Peter started filming, and then there was this lovely little bunch of ladies, and they're just like, get up and dance, and I was like, fine. So I got up and danced. So I think for a lot of them it was a bit of entertainment.
Yeah.
They probably saw you getting on the getting your boogie on at the indoor sail away and wanted more, so just a bit more energy.
There was a few people who commented that they liked that, and it's funny because it was a 2-day cruise, but the crew on there were so lovely, and now I've got to know them, kind of talk to them still a little bit. And I was only on the ship for 2 days, but
yeah,
you know, so I've got them on Instagram. They're lovely, and you know, every now and then there's a little message, and like the one guy, Sean, the entertainment director, or entertainment. What was he? He was.
Was he entertainment director?
Yeah, I think he was the entertainment director.
Yeah, he wasn't the cruise director.
Because I had that good dance to Whitney with him.
You did.
Yeah.
That was
All
gold.
right,
You're gonna go?
I need to go and sit.
Please.
You go and sit. Amy's here. She'll keep me company.
I
We'll
will
have some fun.
I will still be listening outside. All
Lay
right.
down and listen.
Love you all.
Bye, Deb.
Yeah, so Christine asks here, so this Amy, I'm not sure if you caught earlier, White and Co cruising, young bloke doing new YouTubers, young fella doing great stuff. Christine's his mum, and so she's asking, was it part of a longer cruise? Is that why it's more quiet? So this was part. So you did 2 nights from Brisbane to Sydney. We did 2 nights Brisbane, Sydney, then Sydney back to Brisbane, and it was part of a they do like a Crown Princess does like a Sydney to Fremantle and then back again. So we kind of caught the last part back to Sydney, and then we came back up. You stayed in Sydney, yeah?
Yeah, and then we went on the Edge.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it was a part. It was like a 30-day cruise or something like that. And we were like right at the tail end of that. So yes, I do think that played a part. I do, you know, Princess is a older demographic, you know, in general. Like I remember one day I dropped mum and dad off at the port when we had ships here in Melbourne once upon a time.
Once upon a time. You're getting them again soon. Come on.
We're getting a couple of little cruises here and there, but yeah. Anyway, so I dropped mum and dad off, and then I reckon about 15 minutes later, 20 minutes later, my dad texts me and he goes, "We're the youngest ones here." So yeah, I think generally they are an older demographic, and not that there's anything wrong with that, but that's why there is different cruise lines, because you know they're not aimed at people like me who are crazy and dancing and you know loud and out there. Like, you know, they're a little bit more for those who want to relax and chill, and there is nothing wrong with that. Mum and dad love Princess, but for me it's probably not really my vibe on the regular. Celebrity was a bit more my vibe. It was a bit more lively. But yeah, I still love Carnival. I don't know. I just have a lot of fun. It's a bit more laid back. I just really enjoy the laid back fun.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because for us at that time, like my recollection is we had just been through the cyclone up here in Brisbane. So both of our work, you know, it was very heavy, you know, long toll and everything. I'd had that period where I'd been on that other cruise and got sick and had the health scare and everything on board. So by the time we got to doing this, for us at the time, it was like it was a really nice just chill out. And we actually really enjoyed the Princess. We kind of enjoyed the very laid, but I don't know that we could have done like an extra long cruise necessarily, but you know, that 4 nights for us was a nice vibe at that point in life for us.
And that's the thing, like I will never talk bad about any cruise line in general. Like I think, you know, yes, there's things you do and don't like about like I've had a few people on, say, like my Facebook, because I've had some pretty popular videos since doing Splendor, saying, oh my God, like there was a lady saying, oh, she's looking forward to a cruise, and some lady jumped on and she's like, oh, don't get too excited, you're going to get disappointed, and started saying stuff like that. And I hate that stuff. And the reason is because this woman's just said she is excited for her cruise. Let her experience it for herself, because if you had a bad experience, I'm sorry, you had a bad experience, but that doesn't mean someone else is going to have a bad experience. Like I just had an incredible experience on there, and I enjoyed the food. I actually thought we had great food on that cruise, and the service was outstanding. Like I actually said to Peter, like it felt like a well-oiled machine. I know they had a few bumps in the road there for a while, and things weren't, I think after the transition there was staff that had come over from P&O and were still learning the systems. But that's just where I say, you know, there's going to be people talking bad about things, but just say because they didn't like it doesn't mean that you're not going to like it. I didn't love Princess. I won't say I had a bad time. It just wasn't really my vibe. But I know there's other people who love it, and that's great. That's why there's different cruise lines for different people, because different people like different things.
Yep. Well, I think yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, and you can like different things at different times too. I know Deb and I, you know, we love to do, like, we love Royal, and it's great with Noah and everything else, and you know, even for ourselves, but we can just as much enjoy like a 3-day on encounter, you know, Carnival Encounter, or nearly said P&O, or Carnival Adventure, or you know, I'm gonna give Splendor a go again at some point. But you know what I mean? Like,
I want to be there.
Yeah. Maybe I need you there to show me how to enjoy it.
Maybe.
But, yeah, I think that's the thing, right? Like it's it's one of those things where and I've said this 100 times before, the cruise ship and the cruise line isn't everything. It's the itinerary, it's the purpose of why you want to take that break. All those things matter when choosing the cruise that you're going to go on. Like, what do you need? Do you need downtime? Do you want adventure? Do you want exploration? Do you want lots of entertainment? You know, sometimes like you can want all these different things, and all those different things can be suitable at different times. And I just sorry.
Sorry, I also think with that, it is what you make it too. Because the great thing is about most cruise lines, if you want fun and action, you can find it. If you want to relax, you can find it. Most cruise lines, you can find what you want. Like, yes, there's going to be some things you prefer. Like, obviously, the food was better on the Edge than what it is on like Carnival, because I'm paying also double the price of what I'd pay for a Carnival cruise. So I'd expect it. So you've also got to take things in context too, because when people are like, oh, you know, they're comparing, you've got to consider also what you're paying. Are you on a budget cruise line, or are you on a premium cruise line?
Well, Amy, actually, that raises an interesting question. I've got a few more news bits that I want to get in and chat with you on, and there's a couple of comments I want to get to as well. But just quickly with Princess, and again, I'm editing one of the videos at the moment, and we talk in this video that's coming up about, or Deb and I do, about the buffet restaurant, right? So, you know, upstairs, up the top there, and just how, you know, I know food allergies and different things come up with you a lot. You raise a lot of these questions. But you know, they had really clearly marked vegan sections, gluten-free sections, dairy sections, in that pantry. How did you find that?
Can't say Princess blew my mind. Because they're like, oh, you know, we got vegan options in the desserts, because you walk along, there's cake. And it wasn't till we got right to the end that there was one that didn't have dairy. And look, it was okay. It was nice to have an option, but I don't know. I don't understand why cruise lines struggle so much with like, because we obviously cook dairy-free stuff all the time, and we find it super easy. Like, you replace,
Yep.
regular milk with oat milk or soy milk or something like that. I mean, I guess it's different if you're trying to make it gluten-free as well. But instead of butter, you can even use margarine, but we use Nuttelex at home. Like, it's not hard. And that's why it kind of puzzles me why the cruise lines struggle with it so much. On Celebrity, it did always have a vegan dessert. Like, we could go past that cafe that's upstairs, and every single day there was a different vegan dessert there. And that was nice to just have that readily available. Where one thing I will say, when I was on Splendor and I went to Fahrenheit 555, because I went there on the first night, I couldn't pre-order or anything. So when it came to desserts, my options were sorbet or a fruit platter. And when I'm paying for a premium dinner, I would hope there's a better option. And I actually wrote to John Hild. I think I shared that with you. Did I
You
share
did,
that?
yeah.
Yeah, because we once had a chef, once upon a time in 2023, we had a chef who made us a dairy-free chocolate melting cake. We were on a 12-night cruise, and this chef made it every single night. And Ty and I loved it. We ate it every night. So I messaged John Hild and explained to him, like, there was once this chef who did that. And even if I pre-email the cruise line, I've never had it since. And he reminded us that there's a vegan menu that's been rolled out fleet-wide, and there's plenty of options. And I was like, he actually closed the chat, so I had to message him the next day. And I said, just continuing on. We never got a vegan menu here in Australia. And I have been on about 6 Carnival cruises since and never got that dessert again. And that's when he said, well, reach out to me and I'll see what I can do for you for your next cruise. But that's I think what's frustrating when we were talking about the news that I think you're going to bring up, that there seems to be different standards. Australia, we always get left behind. And I don't know if it's a cost thing, because things are probably more expensive, or they can't source the same, fake meats or whatever for the vegan menu. I don't know what it is. I'm assuming it's something like that.
Well, we've got a bit of news we'll get into on that, and I want to discuss this with you, but I want to get into a couple of comments, because like Aussie Yarny says here, back from Encounter, adults on the show was amazing, but the cruise was a bit of a letdown, so much not included. That's a bit of a shame. I mean, we just got off a cruise recently. We found most things, like, we travel on Encounter a lot. It's our home ship. But yeah, again, definitely compared to other ships, there is less included.
Compared to Splendor and Luminosa, you kind of expect burgers to be free, and you expect ice cream to be free. And so if you're used to that, and then you go on Encounter Adventure, if you're not already knowing and expecting that, you will be disappointed.
Yeah, and that's Brian
says,
Brian mentions this. This is an option. Like, so in the past on Encounter, as a P&O ship, and Adventure was the same. You could leave the nightclub at 2 o'clock or just before 2 o'clock and still come down and get a pizza or a burger to take back to your room. Yes, you had to pay for it, but you could do it. Like, on the recent 3-nighter, that wasn't the case every night, because they were doing maintenance or having exhaust issues and those sort of things. So we do feel, we do feel left behind. As Christine says here, latest announcement on the drinks package is a bit of a slap in the face, especially for Encounter Adventure. And that is a great segue. Let's segue over here. So let's bring this up, because Amy, I know you've been talking a lot about this on your channel.
On my Facebook, yeah.
On your Facebook, yeah. So let's run us through this, mate. Like, what's the go?
Right.
It seemed the zero proof cheers package seemed like such a great bloody thing.
All right, so you all know I love Carnival. It's no secret, right? But they announced this. Everybody got so excited. They're like, this is great. This is awesome. I can get my coffee. I can get my smoothies. I can get, my mocktails. This is awesome. So the feedback was great. So everybody was really, really excited. But then couple of days later, they backflipped and they said, actually, sorry, we made a mistake. You don't get coffee and tea included in that package. And obviously, you know, a lot of people booked this quite heavily on the fact that they can have their coffees and teas. And then all of a sudden, that's not included. So yes, there was a lot of upset people. And the other reason it's upsetting is because in America, in the cheers package, so the alcohol package, you do get coffee. In Australia, on the cheers package, you don't get coffee. And now they've done the same thing with this. Now, you know, cruise passenger who did the article, and you showed me that they had mentioned me in it because they'd obviously found, because I think it got about 30,000 views, that second post I did where they retracted it. So there was a lot of comments, there was a lot of upset people. But they made a valid point in that if you do the AU to US dollars, our package is actually cheaper than theirs. So theirs works out to be, I think, like $48 a day with our US, or sorry, yeah, with the US to Australian conversion. So theirs is actually cheaper than ours. But in saying that, everyone wants their coffee, and they said it was there. And then they said, oh, no, sorry, we made a mistake. Like, you shouldn't be making mistakes like that when you're such a large company. Like, you need to, there's no excuse for that. Someone's messed up. I don't know where it's gone wrong. Obviously, it's a financial decision because either we just spend too much on coffee, that why would you include it in the package when they can get us to buy it, because we're going to buy it anyway because we all love our coffee. Like, in saying that, on Splendor there's good coffee machines. I don't know if they've got them. I think, have they got them on the other ones, Encounter and Adventure?
I think they've just put them into the pantry, or whatever it is called now.
Yeah, so you can even get cappuccinos and lattes and all that on the actual coffee machines. So we personally, being budget cruisers, we hardly ever buy a coffee because we don't love the coffee that they have down there in the cafes anyway that you pay for. And for me,
typical Melbourne coffee snobs.
Yes, we are. We love our coffees. We are very pedantic with our coffee, and I haven't found coffee on a cruise ship that I actually love yet. So I just get my caffeine fix from the free caffeine source. But I also, like, I just did that money saving tips when cruising from Sydney. And I don't know if you've had a chance to watch that yet. But one of my tips was we actually bring energy drinks on with us. So because you can bring up to 12 cans at 375 mils per person on with you. So we usually bring some energy drinks on with that as well. So
Amy, I'm gonna just bring up a screen here at the moment. So this is actually, I'm gonna zoom in. So this is Royal Caribbean, right? Like, and I'm logged in here at the moment. I've got a booking coming up. If I wanted to, I could book their refreshment package. It's $50. And I've seen this. It usually, this year it's sort of been around that $45 to $50 mark. With the because Royal send out a special every day, pretty much, right? But it includes coffee.
Yeah. Well,
so this is the argument. I think if Carnival had actually applied a sensible exchange rate, like, because I saw, as you mentioned, Cruise Passenger point out the exchange rate thing, right? If they just applied an exchange rate and it was $50, I think people still would have bought it.
Yeah, and let's be honest. I mean, I think they're also worried about the queues because it does get really busy down there at the cafes. But how many coffees do people really have a day? Like, I think for me, I'm usually about maybe 2 a day. But on cruise ships, it's probably less. I'd say I'll probably just have 1 in the morning with breakfast. Sometimes I might go get it from the Lido, but if you see my packing stuff, like, quite often I'll take I take like pre-workout sachets for when I'm working out. I take my tumblers with me, and sometimes I even take coffee cups so I can go fill those up and then bring it back to my cabin. So yeah, for me, I'm tight, and I can't see me ever spending $50 worth of anything every
Yeah.
single day. So I would never get that package anyway. Even the $40 one, I don't think I'd spend enough to make it worth it.
See, we, you know, and I'll come back to Katrina's comment on the screen in a moment, but we tend to get it particularly for Noah because, you know, when he's on Royal Caribbean, like he's in the Seaplex, he can, you know, get his Powerades, he can get his different things, he can get a hot chocolate in the morning, he can have a mocktail with us before dinner, he can have a mocktail with us after dinner, like all that's included with the Royal one. And it's at, you know, generally that 45 to 55, $55 mark. So that's what, you know, and P and I had something similar. So, you know, it worked. And we found like Noah, when we cruised with him post the carnival changeover on the Easter long weekend, the price for us, for him, like his expenditure was just up. So something like this would actually work for us. Obviously, it works for Carnival as well when they don't have it. But you know, the other thing that Carnival that Royal have, and it would be nice to see them, you know, consider is, just take this comment off the screen for a moment. Like Royal do this specialty coffee card.
Mm.
All right. So you can prepay, like, and you get a discount on purchasing your coffees on board. The advantage with this is you can actually take them with you. Like you can take the card. So if you've got leftover coffees, you can take them over to your next cruise.
Yeah. Well, Disney actually did coffee cards too. You could, yeah, you buy one, they stamp it, and you get like your fifth one or sixth one free or something. It was something like that. So yeah, Disney did something like that too. I don't know.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. We could talk about that one all night, but we will keep going. I think, you know, Katrina makes an interesting point. You know, we're a budget cruise. I said airline, budget cruise line, so just as an excuse to get more money from passengers. Look, I don't know that it's necessarily a bad or a dishonest thing though, because this is very similar to like when Virgin Australia first came to Australia, when Jetstar, you know, started up. You book the crew, you book your flight, you book your cruise at the bare minimum, and then you add on to that what you want within your budget. So I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing because it makes it more available to more people.
And that's the thing, you know, we are budget cruisers, not budget cruise like we are budget cruisers, and that's a lot of the reason we keep going back to Carnival, because when we're looking at the numbers, Carnival makes sense to us, and then it's up to us how much we spend on board. And we do try to cut costs of what we spend on board where we can. We still have little treats, like the kids will probably have, say, on like a 7-day cruise, well, they might have 4 or 5 mocktails over the entire cruise. We might have a few cocktails, but like this last cruise, it was a 3-day cruise. We bought 2 bottles of wine on with us, which you can do. And then there was a bottle of wine in there from guest services. I don't know if that was a sweet thing. I don't know what that was, but we had a bottle of wine. And then we got up and Peter shook his bottom up on stage and at the Welcome Aboard show, and we got 2 bottles of wine out of that. And so we actually went on there on a mission to have a drink at every single bar. And the issue is we kept getting all this free wine that we didn't actually need to. But we still did it for the sake of the video. We went to every single bar and tried to get a drink from every single bar, but we came home with 3 bottles of wine after the cruise.
Yeah.
We do little things here and there to try to save money, and even doing the Welcome Aboard show for us, it's a money saving thing. We go up there, we get 2 bottles of wine, and then we get reserve seats, and then we get bingo cards. We get chocolate covered strawberries to our cabin, stuff like that. So yeah, we get involved, and that often gets us little things as well.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Look, I would say to people, you know, do get involved. Like, do get to know the staff when you're on board, and those things, they do come for people. Amy, we've got a few things to get on. I think, Gareth makes it a point here. Carnival just don't care what Aussies want. They're giving us the raw end of the stick. Gareth, I think at the end of the day, and I do want to move on because we've got a few more big cruise news things to get through, but the thing with this is it's the inconsistency factor. So even if they had offered the zero proof package at $60, I think Australians would have gone, okay, fair call. There's exchange rate. There's, it costs more to do business in Australia. You've at least made a crack at it.
It was a
fair shake of the sauce bottle.
That upset people.
Yeah, I think the fact that there's bits and pieces missing and it's inconsistent, that's what. So I get where people are making comments like Gareth's making here. They make a hell of a lot of sense. But just moving on. As we all saw a week or two ago, we saw the float out of last week. We saw the float out of the third Icon class ship for Royal Caribbean. This was Legend of the Sea, so it hit the water for the first time, floated out of the dry dock last week, which is very exciting. Will be in service from the middle of next year.
Did you book it?
What? I'm trying. I really want to. I'm so tempted, Amy. I've been trying to negotiate this one with Deb, but because I'd love to actually do the relocation cruise where they do the transatlantic. So there's the cruise itinerary goes around Spain, like 2 stops in Spain, and then across to the US. And so I think that amount of sea days on an Icon class ship would be absolutely amazing, because I think you would really get the opportunity to take a ship of that size in.
Yeah, because a lot of them, like, I think of like the 3 and 4 day sailings that they're doing on this style of ship, and I'm like, how do you, like, I struggle to do everything on, like, say, the Adventure. How am I going to do that? How am I going to see everything on a ship like that in 3 days? It's just impossible.
Yeah, I know, right? So anyway, so that floated out last week, but you like, this is what really took my grabbed my opinion this week. Icon 4 has already started. So they floated it out, and you can see there's Legend in the background.
Sorry,
and they've already started to lay the keel for Icon 4.
I'm looking at your ad. Sorry, go up again. The ad for the Norwegian.
Mexican Riviera, now only $3.99 per person from California. So that's $3.99 US, obviously.
Do you know how expensive Norwegian is here?
I know, right?
Like, I've looked at a cruise for like my family, and we're looking at $12,000-$15,000. I'm just like, sorry. Anyway, so they've laid. It's crazy how fast they churn through them.
Yeah, it is. It is. So, like, it is maybe such a production line, right?
Maybe that's why their slides are breaking and their glass is breaking. They're rushing the production a bit. I'm just saying. Maybe. The next bit of news, surprisingly enough, is about Norwegian and Norwegian Spirit going to home port in Sydney in 2027. So again, this is from. So this has been getting a bit of talk, but again, just keeping in this theme of what's coming in the next few years for Australian cruising. Norwegian Spirit. This is a little bit old. It was first sort of reported back in July. But Norwegian Spirit are going to be here during the 26-27 season. Sorry? So it's a season thing. So
it's a seasonal thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, not year round, but home porting for the part of the season. But then once they've sort of done their Australian stint, they're going to be staying within the South Pacific. So that's the really interesting thing about it. They'll be doing home porting in Sydney, visiting and also Lautoka, Fiji, and Papeete, French Polynesia, Honolulu. They'll have immersive itineraries across the region.
Look, I'm looking to try Norwegian. It's just their price. I'm just like, man, I can get like 3 or 4 Carnival cruises for that price.
Yeah, exactly. And Norwegian have also just recently, in the last week or last couple of weeks, they've opened a new headquarters. So this is big news because the Norwegian Cruise Line Group basically is, Norwegian Cruise Line, Oceania, and Regent Seven Seas. So there's and they've now got a new call center and booking center here in Brisbane. So, in Sydney.
Interesting.
So that's really interesting. So they're kind of really starting to grow their Australian presence. Yeah, so there we go. Lots of exciting things.
I'm sorry, I just pulled up the comments. I just seen JJ saying, "Why are Norwegian so expensive?" Like, I feel like they're a lot more expensive in Australia than what they are over there, though, because I hear the prices that people are paying over there, and it's again over here. And I actually have a friend. He was a dancer on Norwegian, and yeah, he just said it's because it costs so much for him to come over here. But yeah, I don't know. That's the thing. Like, I guess that's why I'm probably a little bit kinder to Carnival, because at least they're here.
Yeah.
At least they're here for us and they haven't left us, whereas I feel like nobody else is sticking around. They're like, oh, we make too much money elsewhere, so we're going away. So yes, yeah.
I think that's the thing. Like you got Carnival's here year round. I think Royal are gonna have to be. I can't see them not being with the investment in Lilliput. We've got Princess, which I mean, they're kind of here year round, except for when the ship disappears on a world cruise. But yeah, like getting more competition down under, whether it's with Norwegian, whether it's MSC or others. I think 27 and 28, 28 is going to be the year. I just, everything seems to be building towards that.
Yeah, I think so too. And, I'm excited to see that Carnival are coming. They haven't announced it, but, according to the port schedule, Carnival are coming back in 2028 to Melbourne. But I just hope that I'd love to see MSC come here, because I really think this market is asking for something for MSC, and it would be something that puts a little bit of pressure on Carnival and makes they're going to have to pick up their act a little bit to remain competitive. So I'd like to see MSC come here. I'd really love to see that. I'd like to try them. I want to try all cruise lines. Like I've tried 6 cruise lines. I'm still hanging to do Royal, but unfortunately, just every time I look up Royal, it's either the time frame isn't working for me, or the cost isn't working. There's something that's not lining up for me. I do want to do Royal, and I do keep looking. I just haven't found the right cruise yet. And right now I've got a bit going on in my life that I'm kind of paring back a bit. And not only that, the financial, because we have to fly, and that's a big outlay. So when, Royal's like $2,000 more than Carnival, we have to factor that in, because we've already got to pay $2,000 for the flights to get there. So that's an extra $4,000 on top of, so it adds up for us quickly. So that's where we just got to be a little bit more conservative.
Yeah, look, I mean, and that's the thing. I mean, we actually, we will purposely make, like, it'll be an intentional thing to go and do one of these cruises out of Fremantle, for example, because we haven't cruised out of Fremantle, and it's something different and it's something new. But we couldn't do it regularly because the costs, just like you have costs with flying to Sydney or Brisbane to do cruising as well at the moment. But luckily, you will get a little bit of a reprieve.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping to be a millionaire by then if I win Tats Lotto or something.
Oh, you're going to take over the social media world with cruising in Australia and cruise news in Australia.
I don't know about that. But
Christine makes a good point here that at least Carnival is here, and she's grateful they do AUD on board instead of US, because there is a few comments here Gareth says it'd be great if Royal Caribbean charged AUD instead of US when they're sailing in Oz waters.
And that factors for us too, because again, as budget cruisers, we're going on there with a budget, and we can't load cash with Royal either. So if we're going on there, I've been told you can't load cash; you can only use credit card.
You can pre-purchase. You can call up and pre-purchase.
Oh, can you? Okay, yeah, but so because what we did with Disney to help us, and we did it with Virgin too, to help us budget for the conversion. What we did with Disney, we went, all right, so this is how much our budget is for spending on board. We went and changed it to US dollars because I think we got told we had to, but then that way we also knew how much we had to spend in US dollars. So we're pretending like the US dollars was Australian dollars, basically. So let's say we with $1,000 US. We went there, we loaded that on, and then it was just like counting in normal currency, but we'd already done the conversion. But if it's going on our credit card, you lose track. Like even
100%.
Like Celebrity on board, it felt very expensive, like because we'd look at the menu, we'd look at the coffee, and we're like, hang on, $4 US or $5 US for a coffee, like
add 50%.
That's right. I'm like, I'm not paying $10 for a coffee. Are you crazy? I'm going to the buffet and getting that free stuff. So it's stuff like that. And then also not having the self-service laundry as a family, that makes a massive difference. We can go on Splendor, go in there. Like I pick my times. I know when to go in there, and it's $3.50 a load, but whereas on Celebrity, a pair of socks was $3 US if they were to wash a pair of socks for us. And so stuff like that makes a massive difference when you're cruising on a budget. So just having the Australian dollars and then the self-service laundry as well, because I imagine a 10-day cruise as a family of 4 without a laundry would be a nightmare.
So Rob says Disney is a lot more reasonably priced out of Singapore. If you can get the flights at a good price or using points, then that might be an option. And that's true. I note that, there's some good pricing at the moment for later next year onwards. There's just been a bit of a release of some Disney cruises, so they've kind of dropped a little bit. Deb and I are actually looking at that as well for next year. It's something to do with Noah is, head up to Singapore again. We know from the feedback we've had, you really enjoyed the cruise series we did when we were up in Singapore. We do want to do more cruises for you out of Asia. The great thing about Singapore is that, depending on where you are in Australia, it's anywhere from a sort of 3.5 hour flight through to, sort of a maximum of about sort of 7 to 7.5 hours. So it is actually a relatively easy place to go to cruise. And the cruise market there is growing. You've got Royal Caribbean up there. You've got a number of the Asian airlines. Obviously, the old Pacific Explorer is up there. You've got under Starline. Is it Star Cruises, Amy? I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Star Cruises.
And then you've also got Disney start there from December.
Starting send ships over there because they're cheaper, and that's where the Australian government need to do more to attract the ships. Like especially here in Melbourne, it's ridiculous because it drives the economy. It helps the economy.
So you look at like Rob's just put here. We're looking at October 2026, 2,100 for 4 nights for the tour. It's like that's.
Do you know how much Wonder cost us out of Melbourne for 4 nights? It was like
it was like $3. Yeah, $7,000. I was going to say it was like 3 times that price. So out of the US, out of Singapore, it's pretty good. And Disney Adventure is a pretty unique looking ship. Like this is one of the ones that they purchased because the order for the ship got cancelled. They were able to kind of snavel it and go, hey, let's do this. So it's a bit different to their normal ships.
4 nights is not enough though. Not on that ship. 4 nights is not enough on that ship.
No, I don't think it would be either. I think that's part of the thing with Disney, right? Like you actually probably need to go back multiple times to be experienced the different things. Probably similar to an Icon class ship. Even though the Disney ships are much smaller, there's just so much.
Even Wonder, we don't feel like we really got the most out of it in the 4 days we were on, even though our port was cancelled. The pilots down in Hobart, you know, the ones that catch the boat and help guide you in, they all went on strike the day we were supposed to be in Hobart. So we lost our port day, but we had 3 full days on the ship. And even that, it felt like, yeah, we could have, it still didn't feel like we really did everything. But in saying that, we spent about 10 hours waiting in lines to meet characters as well.
Yeah. So Christine asks, how's accommodation prices in Singapore to be there a night or two before? So Christine, and you'll have to forgive me, I can't remember where you guys are based. From memory, I'm guessing you're based around Brisbane. I think from the couple of cruises you have done on Encounter, or that, sorry, Wyatt has done on Encounter. We actually did a video earlier this year or a video series where we flew up there. And there are, look, accommodation can be very expensive in Singapore, but if you look around and if you can get in early, you can actually get some cracker deals. So do look out for that. Some of the cheaper family rooms can be expensive, but they can also, if you're willing to kind of split yourself across 2 rooms, you can actually save quite a lot of money. So yeah, definitely it would be something to look at, and I think you would absolutely love it. One of the things I would say is if you can do a get up to Singapore for a Disney cruise and you can afford it, don't forget Singapore also has Universal Studios up there, and it's a cracker a cracker place to go as well. I with 2 of our older kids, in a previous life, I was able to take them to Universal as a bit of a surprise for their 13th. One was 13, one was 10. So it was like a teenager and double digits birthday, because they're a couple of days apart. We actually went up to Singapore and we did a VIP day at the Universal Studios in Singapore, and it was, the kids still talk about it. Yeah, it was an absolutely cracker experience. You kind of got VIP pass to all the lines. You had an escort with you all day, all that sort of thing. So yeah, definitely check that out. Scylla says that in Singapore she's booked the family suite at Farama City Centre for $400 a night, including buffet breakfast. That's a cracker price, and Farama is a great location as well. So very, very central. Depending on the time of day that you tend to go want to go out to the port, you're probably looking at 15 minutes, I would say, in a taxi. So not very far at all. Very, very good. Great. I love Singapore. I love visiting there. Public transport's great. Taxis are cheap. Definitely a place to go. So Christine says she might have to wait for them to pay their own way. Yeah, look.
I agree. I don't know why Lyra hasn't got a job yet.
I know. I had a deal with each of the kids. Once they turn 18, they got 1 holiday still paid for after they turned 18, and that was it. And then when they were 21, each of them got a voucher, like a Flight Centre or Webjet voucher. They had to kind of choose one of those sort of things for a set amount, and they each got the same amount. The 3 adult kids, Noah will get the same, and that's it.
You are so much nicer than me.
I can't wait till once Noah is 18 and it's just Deb and I love Noah. You guys know we love Noah. But yeah. On that note of being a terrible parent, we've run terribly over tonight. Thank you everyone for joining. Amy, thank you very much for relieving Deb. Really appreciate it.
Raced home from like a crazy day. And I'm going to have to call my staff now and check everything's all right. Because
you have really appreciate it. You have been, I know, super, super busy. So really do appreciate you jumping in and giving Deb some a bit of a breather tonight. Thank you very much to everyone who has joined us tonight. It's been a wonderful live stream. As you can see, we truly do believe that the future is bright for cruising in Australia, particularly as we head towards 2028. Yes, it's a couple of years away, Yes, there's a bit of a build up to it, but it is going to be a cracker. And I think in the next 6 months or so, we're going to see some really, really big announcements. We're going to get a firmed up time on what's going to happen with Lilliput and when it opens. We're going to see more and more in terms of release of schedules for 27 and 28 seasons, and hopefully more about some year-round cruising for some of the cruise lines. Absolutely awesome live stream. Enjoyed all your comments. Thank you very much. Don't forget to share it with your with your friends and family. Subscribe to Amy's channel as well, the Cruise Craze fam. Say g'day over there and let her know on your Facebook, on her social media, that we sent you over to say hello. But also, don't forget to check out Wyatt and Co-Creations. Wyatt's channel, as I said, we've been really impressed watching his videos. He's a young fella really giving it a go, and with great support from his mum, Christine. So, Christine, I see you are there out in Ipswich. We'll forgive you for being from Ipswich. We're Northsiders, so say that with much love and respect. We will see you in the next episode, everyone. Have a great night. Goodbye.
Thanks, guys.